Oh, well, it's the ghost another double again. Well, it's still been an excellent year for South Africa. We've got 5 times Rugby World Cup champions, and yeah, I guess maybe I don't know, maybe might have to go sacrifice another wildebeest so that the Proteas can finally make the Cricket World Cup final. So here we are. The Cricket World Cup finalists for 2023 have been confirmed, and as I predicted, it'll be Australia and India. Although it has to be said, with India's path to the final was kind of decided at the toss. Not so much for Australia, who had to fight a very plucky South African side on a very slow wicket at the Eden Gardens in Ranchi, Kolkata. I think we've kind of talked a lot about how good India is, and I guess really we should talk about who they'll be facing in the final. Australia, of course. But yeah, so Australia once again make another Cricket World Cup final, and I think, and their record is they've only lost one of the Cricket World Cup finals that they've been in. That was back in 1996 against Sri Lanka on the subcontinent. So I guess if anything, that might be a bit of a good omen, perhaps, for Indian cricket fans. And yeah, I guess for many of the neutral fans, you'd have to say, based on what we've seen from both sides, India are quite clearly our favourites, albeit not overwhelmingly. I think this Australia side, firstly, I guess, look, that Kolkata wicket was certainly a whole lot slower than expected, and certainly far slower than what South Africa expected. They won the toss and elected to bat, and they were hoping to put up at least maybe, I think they probably were 40 or 50 runs short of putting a total that was actually going to prove quite challenging for Australia to chase. Of course, Ahmedabad's going to be quite different, as we've seen. Ahmedabad is with we will certainly see. I think on paper we should see aggregate scores upwards of 500, 600. So yeah, one side's at least you'd think would score 300 plus at least. I think Australia, now they've made the final, I think they will certainly lift their game. They always lift their game for any World Cup final. So it's going to be quite a cracking game. So yeah, it looks like both sides should be at full strength. Look, there was Chapman Gill, who would have scored 100 if he hadn't had to leave the pitch. He initially retired, came back to bat. He probably looks like he should be fit to play. And you'd think both sides should be fit. Both sides should be at full strength for Sunday's World Cup final. So yeah, obviously, look, it's not a whole lot really to say. I think it will be. Fingers crossed. On paper, I think that it should be a good game. I think there'll be a lot of sixes. Where given it's being played at Ahmedabad, and yeah, look, there'll definitely be one thing certain. It's definitely going to be a huge sea of blue and some rock outlets of yellow in the crowd. It obviously is the dream scenario for the host India. So we shall see. And I guess I'm going to say India by 10 runs. I think it'll be close around. Australia will push. I mean, they have the power to push, down the order, like Glenn Maxwell and then Pat Cummins, who, by the way, I should say, speaking of Pat Cummins, I think it is, watching this Cricket World Cup, it is quite, the number, it's quite surprised to see him bat more than I would have expected, given, he's the captain, he's clearly a bowler, first and foremost, but yeah, no, he's often had to be there to bail Australia out. But nevertheless, yeah, so India by 10 runs, or they will chase it down. I reckon, they'll have a crazy chase. Rohit Sharma will finally get 100, and I think win by 5 wickets. So that's my predictions for the Cricket World Cup final. So India to win. What are your thoughts? And look, if you like this video, feel free to like and don't forget to subscribe.